Parker Schnabel is now one of the biggest and most powerful landowners in the Klondike. We've spent the last 5 years looking for a massive project, and we just got one. I should be stoked. Parker Schnabel, a well-known miner during Gold Rush, was famous for his drive to find fortune and his knack for finding treasure while digging for gold. He sometimes uncovers unexpected things, like ancient relics. But recently, he made a terrifying find. What did Parker discover that shocked everyone and sent chills down their spines? Let us explore. Parker's dark revelation, the historic find. Parker Schnabel's discoveries are not just limited to gold. While pursuing wealth, he has unearthed other fascinating treasures. In an interview, he hinted at the peculiar relics miners often stumble upon, revealing there's a lot buried here. Among his most notable finds were a pair of remarkably well-preserved woolly mammoth tusks buried deep in the permafrost. Made of valuable ivory, these fossils were in near-perfect condition despite the species going extinct thousands of years ago. Alaska occasionally yields mammoth tusks, which feed a niche industry due to their high value. Ivory collectors can pay over $1 million for a pristine specimen. While Parker Schnabel and his Gold Rush team may not have found anything as valuable as gold, mammoth tusks remain among the most expensive finds in the industry. Is that an ancient tree? It's a freaking tusk, dude. Mammoth tusks. That thing's amazing. However, Schnabel isn't keen on selling them due to the numerous permits required, preferring to appreciate their historical significance. With millions already made from gold mining, Parker finds satisfaction in simply owning these ancient relics. He proudly showcases them in his collection, where mammoth tusks and massive teeth are centerpieces. These treasures serve as the crown jewels of his career, highlighting his knack for unearthing unusual finds. While others toil in the mud, it's not just Parker Schnabel who has uncovered such remarkable relics. Fellow Gold Rush star Tony Beets has also made significant discoveries. The appeal of striking it big extends beyond gold. Tony Beets stumbled upon a tusk with unique historical significance in his new mining site at Paradise Hills. He noticed the tusk protruding from the ground, and with the help of his son Mike and some basic tools, dug it up. Initially mistaken for a jawbone, paleontologists later confirmed it was a woolly mammoth tusk, likely connected to other remains found nearby. Experts believe it's linked to the Klondike Gold Rush from more than a century ago. Rumors circulated that Tony Beets had previously discovered the bones of horses and zebras, but this woolly mammoth tusk solidified its importance. Gold Rush asserts that the baby mammoth remains are over 30,000 years old, preserved in the frozen ground during the Ice Age. Throughout history, miners have found more than just gold. They have uncovered peculiar oddities that leave them bewildered. Since Australia's first major gold rush in 1851, nearly 22,000 tons of gold have been mined in Victoria's Golden Triangle. Meanwhile, Parker Schnabel was amazed when he encountered a replica of the Welcome Stranger, the largest gold nugget ever found. This moment occurred in Season 4, Episode 2 of Gold Rush, Parker's Trail. Seeking new adventures, Parker Schnabel and his partner Fred Lewis met with Tyler Mahoney, a fourth-generation Australian gold prospector. She discovered a 4,000-pound golden boulder across the back seat of her truck. Legend has it that the original Welcome Stranger was so massive that it had to be broken into 3 pieces just to fit on a bank scale. Its estimated value today would be around $4.7 million. Unfortunately, the original nugget was melted into gold bars long ago, but 2 replicas remain. One is on display in Melbourne's Old Treasury Building, while the other belongs to the Dean family. The Victorian gold rush of the 1850s attracted hopeful miners from around the world to Victoria, Australia, in search of fortune. In 1869, 2 Cornish miners, John Duh and Richard Oates, struck gold near Malago. The colossal nugget, wrapped in quartz, was weighed at the London Chartered Bank in Denny, about 12 miles away. Unable to handle its weight, the nugget was broken up immediately, leaving only a drawing as evidence of its discovery. In more recent times, modern-day prospectors like Parker Schnabel have learned firsthand how challenging the mining business can be. In Season 10, his team unearthed the electrified nugget, a dendritic crystal formation weighing 41.8 ounces. This unique nugget resembled lightning bolts, boosting Schnabel's reputation. The episode $1 Million Payday showcased the nugget, whose pattern increased its value beyond its weight in gold. Season 7 marked a significant turning point for Schnabel. Despite equipment failures and unstable yields, Parker persevered, using innovative technology and business acumen. Episodes like Eureka Payday and King of the Klondike highlighted his unwavering determination. By mid-season, his efforts paid off, allowing him to expand his operations and invest in advanced equipment. However, Parker Schnabel hasn't always been successful. Despite earning millions, he has faced significant losses. In Alaska, he and his team invested heavily in one mining site only to scrape up 80 ounces from old waste. Their hope rested on the Wolf Cut, a virgin patch believed to hold over 2,000 ounces of gold. After spending 2 months reaching the pay layer, a devastating flood dashed their dreams. After finding mammoth tusks and the Welcome Stranger replica, Parker's next mining challenge would test him like never before. After patching a hole in the wall of the Wolf Cut, Parker Schnabel and his crew were racing at breakneck speed to mine out the cut, hoping for the biggest profits the show had ever seen. Gold mining is a gamble between the promise of wealth and the reality of equipment failure, catastrophic floods, and shattered dreams. For every successful Parker Schnabel or John Dean, countless others leave empty-handed, their dreams and finances destroyed. After struggling with the Wolf Cut, Parker Schnabel chose to regroup his team and strategize after the setback. Eventually, the team managed to push back the water, securing the treasure. The operation leader, Mark Force, descended to assess the potential. Parker was eager to justify the gamble, sifting through the soil until he found finer gravel, a promising sign. Just as everything seemed to be falling into place, an unexpected turn of events shook the team. A hole opened in the wall, unleashing a torrent of mud and water. Despite their best efforts to contain it, the relentless floodwaters returned, putting their efforts at risk once again. While digging at the bottom of the cut, an excavator struck the pit wall, exposing a flooded mine shaft that unleashed millions of gallons of water back into the pit, drowning the pay dirt the crew had prepared. The crew had prepared well, but they weren't prepared enough. Their solitary 88-inch pump couldn't handle the deluge. They brought in a second pump, but it didn't make much difference as water poured in from every side. Defeated by the relentless flood, they had no choice but to pull the pump from the wash plant. Parker Schnabel should have made the call, but he was absent and unresponsive to calls, leaving the team in a difficult position. Tyler made the tough decision to shut down the wash plant and remove its pump, doubling their water pumping power. With 3 pumps working non-stop, the crew retreated to let them work their magic. In 24 hours, they drained away 10 million gallons of water. When Parker finally resurfaced, he was thrilled to see the progress at the Wolf Cut. Instead, he was greeted with stories of the flood that had devastated the site. The water problems didn't end there. Parker faced another watery disaster when the Wolf Cut, his prized mining ground, was overrun once again. He couldn't have known how deep the problem ran, nor how hard Mother Nature would fight back on his Alaskan claim. Parker sought a promising pay streak in the 4-acre Wolf Cut, hoping it would yield at least $1 million this season. The pay dirt was buried 30 feet deep, and the team needed to remove 1,000 yards of overburden to reach it. But things were far from ideal. Only 4 feet more to dig, and they'd be below water. Another 30 feet down, and they'd hit rock. The whole operation teetered on the edge, complicated by its proximity to an old pond. Water was the first thing that would go wrong if anything went wrong. Frozen mud was their saving grace, keeping the water out. John Badra, a recruit, was tasked with handling the mud and keeping the water at bay. But the cut seemed alarmingly wet, prompting a frantic call to their boss. If things fell apart, they could lose the whole season. Unfortunately, as more ground opened up, the mud worsened, spreading like an illness. They had barely scratched the surface, cutting out only 1/5 of the area. The Wolf Cut, hemmed in by the pond, relied on a flimsy berm barely holding back the water pressure. Digging deeper revealed a layer of frozen ice that initially kept the water out. But when the permafrost broke, pond water seeped through the wall and flooded the cut. Panic set in as the water level rose, threatening to drown their hopes of striking gold. They had to act fast. Parker decided to dig a sump pond as deep as possible in the cut and install an 8-inch pump to drain it. He wasn't about to lose another water battle. After setting up the pump, they waited until the next day, confident their plan would hold. But the next morning brought a nasty surprise. The pump was missing, and instead of a dry cut, they found a lake. The pump had been overwhelmed and was now 4 feet underwater. They were on the verge of losing $500,000. Tyson had to haul out a kayak with a chain from the excavator just to reach the submerged pump. Mark Force, the foreman, discovered debris had clogged the suction filter, causing the water level to rise and engulf the pump. He tore down the engine and made repairs, but the damage was done. Recovering from the Wolf Cut setbacks, Parker's next gold seemed promised a fortune if they could withstand the Klondike's harsh conditions. At Parker Schnabel's Yukon operation, his right-hand man, Mitch Blaschke, is trying to achieve the impossible: mine out a record-breaking 90 acres of ground in just one season. The $1 Million Major. Not easily discouraged by losses, Parker Schnabel had weathered his fair share of setbacks. Despite everything, he stunned miners and fans alike, closing out a season with $14 million in gold. Parker and his team were on the verge of a game-changing season that could redefine gold mining itself. Yet, every shovel of dirt could make or break their dream. From the moment the season began, the urgency was palpable. Parker worked tirelessly to coordinate his team's efforts to uncover the precious pay streak. The harsh Alaskan conditions tested their mental grit, and faulty equipment only made matters worse. Parker had to meticulously plan each move, balancing the risks and rewards while leading his determined crew through treacherous terrain. Expectations were high, but Parker pressed on, driven by the belief that the Klondike held a fortune that would change their lives forever. Finally, after a long struggle, they struck a rich seam of gold buried beneath the frozen ground. Excitement swept through the camp as they uncovered a massive deposit that could turn the whole season around. The Klondike had finally yielded its treasure. After a series of setbacks and dashed dreams, extracting it from the frozen earth was still a monumental task, but Parker was undaunted. News of their discovery spread like wildfire, attracting attention from supporters and critics alike. Parker and his crew were thrust into the spotlight under intense scrutiny, as everyone watched to see how things would play out. The pressure was on, but with a potential $1 million haul on the line, they raced against time as winter closed in. Mining operations accelerated, with heavy machinery tearing into the gold-laden dirt. Their collaboration in the gold room was both amazing and unsettling. They had little time left, but the prize was worth every second. Parker's leadership, honed through years of failures and successes, guided them through the chaos as they worked tirelessly to salvage their season and their dreams. They held on to their loot, with Parker Schnabel declaring, with a mix of pride and shock, that they'd stolen $14 million worth of gold. "What's our season total?" $8,118,000, nearly $14 million in gold. His team of miners, fans, and skeptics stood in stunned amazement at the incredible feat. This season of Gold Rush would undoubtedly be remembered as one of the best in Klondike history. Parker had pocketed $364,000 in gold after convincing a rookie operator to move Sluicifer. Always keen to show off his achievements, he reveled in his success. But even with his extensive knowledge, he found himself knee-deep in a quagmire, facing a colossal $15 million debt. Daily costs and relentless repairs loomed over him like a dark cloud, leaving him grasping for a $60 million payday in the Dominion. Though fraught with uncertainties, he admitted his growing anxiety. The unease seeped through him, unsettling his usual steely resolve. He wasn't alone, though. His team pledged to stick by his side, ready to tackle the challenges ahead. Tyson, with the weight of the world on his shoulders, took on every task to keep the team afloat. He secured mining rights from Ken Tatlow and Stuart Schmidt and started on the daunting job of reviving the operation. But no one expected the first task to be such a disaster, dragging on much longer than anticipated. As Parker realized the urgency of the situation, the pressure mounted. He had high hopes that Tyson would rise to the occasion. Parker's determination remained unwavering despite the grueling work of preparing the new site while getting Eloro ready. He thought he had plenty of time, but when laying out the new plant pad, he quickly realized he didn't. Parker grappled with problems at Eloro, leaving everyone to wonder if his relentless determination would see him through the tough times or if the elusive gold stores would finally slip away. Parker and Tyson were both deeply entangled in the LD operation, where moving the wash plant was a colossal task that marked a pivotal moment in Tyson's career. The team had everything they needed except time. The job had to be finished by Sunday, and only if completed successfully would the operation remain viable. A tangled web of financial problems, practical challenges, and the relentless pursuit of the Dominion jackpot created a perfect storm that needed careful navigation. The precarious financial situation added another layer of complexity as they juggled unpaid bills and the costs of running the business. Parker Schnabel knew he needed every ounce of determination to overcome these challenges. Each day brought a new hurdle, but he remained focused on the promise of striking gold. The team continued to push through relentless hours, working in harsh conditions to bring the plan together. Tyson, Mark, and the rest of the crew stuck by Parker's side as they fought for their dreams in the rugged terrain. With millions on the line, Parker's big gamble in the Dominion would either make or break his dreams. That is Gold Run, which was a super-rich creek and where it dumped into Dominion. I'm guessing was, in this area right here, and we need to get some money coming in because we're going to be broke very soon. The ultimate gamble for millions. Parker Schnabel recognized that this mining season was crucial for securing his future in the gold mining business. He and his team understood that the rewards were high, but so were the risks. Every ounce of gold extracted from the frozen ground and muddy waters could finance their next venture. So the crew mined tirelessly throughout the season. They experienced moments of triumph and despair, yet their unwavering resolve saw them standing together, determined to defy the odds. After countless hours spent digging, strategizing, and struggling, Parker and his team finally struck a rich seam of gold, confirming that their bold gamble had paid off. As the season neared its end, Parker stood beside his crew, marveling at their amazing $14 million haul, a triumph that would be remembered for years. However, witnessing this chaotic endeavor unfold, it was impossible not to wonder if Parker's ambitious gamble would ultimately pay off or if the mounting financial pressures and logistical challenges would sink his dreams. In the unforgiving world of Dominion, where gold reigns supreme and fortunes shift like sand dunes, Parker found himself in a precarious situation. His dreams of unattainable gold were hanging by a thread as financial difficulties gnawed at the foundation of his business. The relentless heat blanketed the region, raising the question of how anyone could endure this harsh climate. Dominion means sovereign, yet those searching for gold often play by their own rules. Parker and his team's determination was commendable, but recent heat waves tested their tolerance. Casual conversations hinted at the struggle of working from dawn till dusk under the scorching sun. The team prepared to move Sluicifer, but that wasn't official yet. They needed more practice before relocating the operation. Tyson, one of Parker's most trusted crew members, set an ambitious goal to streamline operations. He wanted the wash plant up and running before sunrise, and tensions were high as he planned the move. Tyson faced the nerve-wracking job of relocating Sluicifer, a 90,000-pound wash plant on an unstable platform. He had to improvise with makeshift equipment to support the machine's weight, all while ensuring nothing fell apart. The rushed and chaotic nature of the operation left Tyson under immense pressure. Alec and Liam, who had helped with the previous move, were called upon to assist Tyson again, while Evan Cutts, an operator inexperienced in moving wash plants, struggled to manage the massive machine. The move was further complicated by the need to transport parts to Sluicifer and lower them onto the new pad using a 750 excavator. Tyson and Evan tackled the job together, moving Sluicifer pieces to their new location. This was more than a logistical challenge. It was a symbolic risk in the treacherous world of gold mining. Breaking down Sluicifer piece by piece was both risky and thrilling. Onlookers couldn't help but wonder if this bold move would uncover the jackpot Parker and his team were chasing, or if it would be the misstep that would ruin them. Tyson knew he would need the 750 excavator to help haul the heavy machine up the hill to its new pad. The team faced a nail-biting challenge, navigating the steep terrain, but slowly Sluicifer rose to the new pad. Tyson's strategic mastery shone through as he used every tool at his disposal to inch the behemoth forward. The team groaned under the strain, but Tyson's ingenuity held them together. This crucial phase was a litmus test for a successful season in the Dominion. If they pulled it off, Parker could inch closer to his lofty seasonal target. The team's ability to navigate this critical configuration determined the success or failure of the entire operation. Once the wash plant stood firmly on its new pad, the crew felt a sense of readiness and accomplishment. Constructing the conveyor and hopper feeder was an achievement in itself, a clear sign that gold processing was imminent. With the high-stakes move complete, the promise of $364,000 worth of gold loomed in the distance. The problems were solved, at least for now. Everyone eagerly awaited the next chapter in Parker's story. Did Parker Schnabel really strike it rich, or is the Klondike Gold Rush just a well-edited fantasy? Let us know your thoughts, and remember to like and subscribe for more.